I made this video mainly to show off my completions of intense difficulty towers in EToH that I have not beaten yet until now. Most of these I have not beaten yet due to how much I despise the gameplay of most towers, either for being extremely long or being straight up awful. Although there is gonna be one tower in this video that I actually enjoyed, I just didn't beat the tower until now due to a glitch that soft locked my run. Anyways, enough yapping, let's just get straight to the first tower of this video, starting with...
Tito! I need you, Tito!
Where is Optimus?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not like this tower. I mean, yeah, sure, cool gimmicks and stuff. Yeah, different textured parts mean different gimmicks. I don't care. I don't like this tower. I wouldn't like it if I was loop failing this tower, especially when I have to replay its mid-ass gameplay. Luckily I haven't loop failed this tower, otherwise I could have been forced to go back to these sections over and over and over again. Although this tower was made back probably before 2020, so I can't get too mad about it. Anyways, got nothing else to say. Alright, second tower in this video, let's just say that wait a minute, the final stretch. This is the 10th floor, dumbass. Let's just say that.
It's alright, like...
This tower is just okay. I kinda expected to loop fail this tower, but I was pleasantly surprised I didn't loop fail it, otherwise I'd be a bit angry, and the gameplay didn't feel like it was dragging on. I felt a bit of variety in the gameplay. It's still kinda made for me, but the tower's pretty alright, nothing else to say, because the next tower is gonna be... oh, that tower. Honestly, the only redeeming qualities of this tower is the button progress and the noticeable variety of gameplay in this tower. Got nothing else to say other than the fact that this tower is shit. I wish it just stayed in Ring 3 and the replacement tower got in Zone 3 instead. Actual, never mind, you can stay here in Zone 3. Speaking of Zone 3, let's go to Zone 2 just to pay a visit to the most skibidi Sigma tower of all. Tower of Arcanium Zenturing. If this tower wasn't so punishing, then maybe it could have been enjoyed more by the community. I mean, I get the community's problem with this outside sections essentially being softlocked, unless if you know a guide and you have a lot of patience, especially floor rate outside being a bit unsight readable and having zero savable platforms. I think the purism gameplay of this tower is made. Also, you can see me being extremely careful in floor 10 just because I don't want to redo the previous floors to increase chances of me falling outside. And unfortunately, this tower is alongside Quirky Contraptions for being all creativity, no enjoyment. Although Arcanium Zenturing will lean a bit more towards design, this tower is alright, leaning closer to May, no further explanation. Now let's move to the next tower in this video called Tower of Intense Solar Chaos, and honestly I don't have any opinions with this tower, let's just skip to the next tower. Why won't I make a tower with an acronym based on the human organ used for gustation? I don't like this tower. The gameplay is straight up mid, and the button progress is only for the easiest parts of the tower for some reason, but hey, at least floor 10 has a safety net. That's the only part of the tower I liked. Also, by the way, I did technically beat this tower one time when I was at my era of having only this amateur, but I got kicked for skipping a couple of jumps, and I'm still bothered by that. Why the fuck did I fail that easy jump? Anyways, I beat it, yay. Now let's get to the next tower. tower is not that good. Another case of creativity and gameplay over enjoyment. Well, for me at least. I know you guys would be pissed saying at its peak and say that I just have a skill issue. And you guys may be right, but I just don't like this tower. You can literally see me being too careful with these jumps. Just like what I said in EToH, I don't want to redo previous floors. The safe net in floor 6, and the amount of button progress at least made this tower okay, because loop failing this would feel a lot worse. Got nothing else to say. This tower sucks. No further explanations. I thought this is going to be some old Roblox time machine type tower, and I was completely wrong. Safe to say I was shocked on the premise of this tower, although that's mostly from the fact my dumbass doesn't even know the meanings of Warranted and Retribution until I looked both up. I just looked at the EToH wiki and thought it's just an old Roblox time machine type tower, and I was pretty glad I didn't spoil myself about the tower's store. The gameplay isn't great, but I'm not saying it's terrible. Except floor 6, that one was ass. There wasn't anything that special with the gameplay. This tower focuses more about the story more than mechanics, but I don't mind it that much. The storyline made up for it. I think this tower is pretty good. Nothing else to say. The tower name is ironic, because it has one climactic outcome, me nearly having a mental breakdown from it. I'm not saying that this tower sucks. Hell, I think this tower is pretty good. It's just that the mid-remorseless gameplay in some parts of the tower was putting me off guard. But at least most of the button progress lets you skip and the mental breakdown part. Yeah, it's the loop failing, wow, very surprising. And you can literally see me being extremely careful with floor 10 outside alongside most of it lacking safety nets. But hey, at least it's short-lived, and I just beat it, yay. There is no decent redeeming qualities of this tower. This tower looked at every type of gameplay it can think of, and it used those in the worst ways possible. It doesn't matter if you're a player with a challenging skill level. It doesn't matter if you've beaten Tower of Feudal Perusal, which is a low to mid Unreal 12.35 tower created by Addison Judah, 60 seconds until and for LN, and is located in Caleb's soul-crushing domain in Scope 2. Tower of Ultimately Terrifying is universally known to straight up ass. Don't even get me started with the soft lock in floor 10. I didn't record most of the legit gameplay of it, because I'm laggy and don't want to risk it. Why give me the most dog shit gameplay everyone has conceived upon just to try to end it all on the last floor? Thank God I can do some major skips, because if I can't, then I have to endure this garbage even longer. The only parts of this tower I like are the aforementioned skips and the lost memes. Even then, this shit sucks.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
And to wrap this cleanup off, we got triangular terror. I don't really like this tower. It just spams triangles. Wait, it's literally the point of a tower. Well, I just don't like steep slope jumps. They feel janky. Sphere jank gameplay is peak and way better anyways. I don't have much to say about this tower. There are things about this tower I hate, yet I can't seem to find a reason why. Well, at least I finally beaten it, which concludes every intense tower in EToH I've beaten. Remorseless cleanup video coming soon. Here's the ranking of each tower I mentioned in this video. Citadel of Pyramid Escapades is a pretty solid citadel. It speaks for itself. It's a pyramid escapades. Very mind-blowing. While I think the gameplay isn't surprising for me, it's well made for 2023, especially for being hosted by the same person who made Tower of Battling Barricades. The gameplay also varies per character introduced in this citadel, so it gets creativity points. The design is also perfect. Pyramid Escapades, more creativity points. I thoroughly enjoyed this citadel, while being unfitting for Zone 8. It still has a positive opinion from the community, but would I replay this tower? Probably not. I have nothing else to say. Here are the verdicts. You know, it's kinda weird that I actually like this tower. Not really though. I don't know why, but I like these long jumps. Maybe it's the dopamine of pulling it off successfully, but I don't care. Granted, the gameplay is made even for Ring 5 standards, and it's overly reliant with long jumps. Half of this tower is just long jumps, and nothing else, but I kind of like the design. It's a bunch of fractured obstacles. It did not lie. I did get fractured obstacles. The worst part in my opinion in this tower is floor 10 are the tightropes to mini challenges. I do not trust these. I literally jumped on a different platform after completing the last challenge. And oddly enough, I would probably redo this tower again. Anyways, here's my verdict on this tower. Honestly, I don't like this tower as much as everyone else. Maybe it's just floor 10 ruining my overall enjoyment of this tower. Yeah, I hate the pre-final stretch of floor 10. As for everything else, the gameplay is quite creative. Sure, most of it is over the point, but I mean some intense or remorseless towers in later zones are already extremely punishing, so I can't complain that much. As for the main custom mechanic in this tower, it's really creative. Shrinking, healing, freezing time, shooting balls, superposition. This tower did put these power laws into good use, especially the mechanic where the turret bullet turns into a floating sphere that you can walk on. Too bad it's only being used twice. Now for the design. The frame is wacky as hell, but still pretty cool. But would I redo this tower? Having to endure more punishing sections, and floor 10? Hell no, still a glow up after making TOPP.
What the fuck?
Here's my verdict. How hard is it to make good remorseless gameplay? It's just one difficulty after intense. This tower is mid. Even below it. The gameplay wasn't anything that special, and why are the harder parts so damn punishing? How dare you make this inside box section be certain death if you fall? The design wasn't anything that special either, especially this stupid fucking bear. What are you yapping about? I just want to beat this tower. I didn't look at the dialogue, because I care more about not being sent back to floor 9B, but yeah, the boss dialogue was pretty cringe. I've been quite negative with this tower, so I'll start giving it positive remarks. I guess it's kind of creative with the gameplay. That's my only compliment. I did not enjoy this tower at all. No way in hell I'm repeating this. I didn't enjoy the first half, because it was basically loop fail central. Thank God this 8-button outside section is added. Imagine how painful it would be if it doesn't have one. I don't think this tower even has button progress to skip that section. However, I would say that the tower gets fun at the second half of it, especially with these elevator ladder sections. They're neat. They're also all netted, if I recall. I love it when towers net sections with gameplay most people haven't experienced yet. I like the use of these elevator platforms. It's quite creative, and floor 10 outside and roof are fully netted, I think. So this made this tower less stressful for me. I wouldn't want to repeat this tower, but it was a pretty neat experience. There's nothing much about the design though, so here's my opinion with this tower. I can't really talk much about the gameplay aside from my problem of floor 9 being completely punishing, while also having the hardest raw gameplay compared to everything else in the tower, which I don't have much of a problem despite failing the floor twice. It's just slightly above subpar quality gameplay, and at least I didn't fail the final stretch. Now for the design, what kind of mountain looks like this? One triangular structure. Branded it in Roblox, but that shit would topple over like Lego in real life. What were you thinking of building Parker on that unstable ass mountain, Cameron? Do you have a comical large crane or something? At least your gameplay is sort of creative, but looks can be deceiving from behind. Just like this avatar I'm wearing, the hair is so thick, and the backwards cap made it look like shit. I need to get better hair. The tower name lied, though I can clearly return back down with this conveniently located helicopter with a rope. The tower was a somewhat fun experience, and I would play this again. Not going to repeat, just play it again. Anyways, here's the verdicts. You know what this tower has in common with Tower of Thinning Layers? They get progressively thinner, but you know what's the difference between the two? Thinning Layers has fun gameplay, and this Citadel doesn't. I had a terrible experience with this Citadel, even when my total playtime of this was only like 4 hours. The gameplay wasn't even that special. The hook orbs added nothing honestly. Combined with the fact that some parts are unnecessarily punishing, I real hated that 8-button hunt floor. I also hate the rising insta-kill section in floor rating. Why the fuck would you put that there when I did so much bullshit already? I hate long punishing on SC towers that are like this. making the late floors and final stretch be real punishing, except TOFCB because it's my goat. As for the design, it's just the frame getting thinner and thinner, that's literally it. The only parts I like is the funny lemonade guy and the cat button. This tower can just be thrown straight to hell. It should have just stayed in a EToH ring too. Hell, why didn't the replacement Citadel get in this zone? I haven't beaten it and it still has soft locks, but I still had a better experience in COR more than KOI. Yeah, got nothing else to say. I'm not going to repeat KOI anytime soon. Why does this even have a secret ending? Here's my opinion with this Citadel. You can't change my mind that this is just toner. If Zacro focused a bit more with the design and sacrificed the gameplay length. Speaking of gameplay, it's pretty good. Not saying it's the best, but it's great. My only main issue with the gameplay is the final act. I mean, the tower is punishing and all, but I'm not complaining about the punishment as a whole. It's the tight timer. I mean, yeah, you're meant to be in a tight situation where even one fall would create effect or even end your run. I pray for tower rush grinders to not fall off, but the last floor is really stress-inducing, especially when falling once on a net would greatly reduce your time to be able to reach to the end. I rocked it hard with this run that you're looking at. The timer didn't even show up by the time I reached the peak of the time. Granted, I had other multiple failed runs on the final stretch, half being falling off and the other not having enough time, but I don't care anymore, at least I beat it. My other problem with the gameplay is the unskippable dialogue. Granted, it's a store-based sub-realm, but I'm restarting this tower multiple times, just let me skip. And what are you yapping about when you reach the top of the mountain? Just fall off to this. The kinetic energy gets absorbed by the bouncer and you live. Now for the design, it's well made, it's a cool looking mountain, it looks good, but did I enjoy this steeple? Not really, I have terrible nerve control, I don't want to repeat this steeple, not saying it's bad, it's a pretty good tower, there's nothing much to talk about this steeple, but there's one more problem I'm going to talk about regarding this steeple. Why the fuck did this get last place? You're telling me this arcane area ass tower got 14th place. You're telling me this boring ass loop failing steeple got in first place. What is the staff team smoking? Anyways, here are the opinions of this steeple. And to wrap off this video, we got this abomination. It sucks so much even Zacro, the creator of this, hated it. It's way more punishing than No Return, and is slightly more difficult, and utilizes more client objects than Toner, which is pretty creative and all for having different gameplay choices than the other tower, but I still didn't enjoy it. Safe to say I had a pretty shitty experience with this tower, but it's kinda my fault for having a skill issue. The floors I worried about the most are floors 5 and 10, since floor 5 has 0 safety nets, falling would pretty much end your run, and floor 10 outside sections straight up killing your run after doing all of that. I took 3 clips of this tower, first one failing because I suck. Second one failing, yet I don't think it's even my fault. I need to rush it after all. I hate flat siding. Third one skips every other gameplay because I'm not risking it anymore. Also, since when was there a fire in the whole sound effect? I didn't even edit that in. I don't like the fact that the softlock floors I mentioned earlier don't even compensate with the difficulty. Hell, they were harder than the gameplay in edit floors. Yeah, that's pretty much it about the gameplay. Really punishing beat Remorseless tower. Now for the design, it's classic, it's made, but I can't get too mad. Zacro is the embodiment of gameplay over design in EToH building after all. The design in ToH fight wasn't anything special, and no, I didn't enjoy this tower. Fuck this, I'm not repeating it. Here's the verdicts. Steeple of towering pillars. Also the only tower in this video I ironically liked. I didn't enjoy it, but I appreciated the existence. Sure, there's loot fails, and TheDeathEagle, and dubious GPJs, but there's only like 2 of them. 3 if you include this part. I remember this one not having a ladder. Now let's start up with the design. It's classic, yet I love it. These pillars are the height of a steeple frame, yet the gameplay sticks into the design. I love it, and it makes it more creative, so I'll give it an 8. Speaking of creative, you can't really expect much from a classic themed steeple. The creativity stems from the pillars having gameplay surrounding or inside it, and the gameplay varies a lot. The Forgotten Ridge steeple, so I'll give that one a 7. For gameplay, it's not that much. Again, this is just a classic themed steeple, so expect classic gameplay. This rating is pretty subjective, so you may like classic gameplay, unlike me, which I don't like. I'm looking at you, Koike. But it still kinda persists on being top-notch even for some subrealm called Forgotten Ridge. I'll give it a 6. For enjoyment, I didn't really enjoy this tower, it's loop fail. 4. And for the replayability factor, it sounds weird, but I might redo this tower again. Didn't say repeat, just redo it, it gets a 6. Overall, this tower is a 31 out of 50. Pretty surprising that this is the highest rated tower in this video. I can't really complain about this, because this tower taught me that loop failing is normal in EToH. Anyways, next tower is gonna be I want to take away the philosophy I said earlier. Dear God, this tower is straight up ass cheeks. Not even Latina ass cheeks, I'm talking about Rigby's left ass cheek. The only part of the tower I liked is the design. Cool looking frame. Cool looking carousel that doesn't even have horses in it. Also, why is it rotating in map 3? Cool looking clocks. I'll give it a 7. It gets a lower design score than the previous tower, because I fucking hated this. Nothing much about creativity, just spinning things. Yeah, that's it. 5 because there's some gameplay variety, I guess. The gameplay isn't that great, the time in each floors are extremely inconsistent, and I hope you don't fall off below long floors, because I wouldn't wish that on my greatest enemy. Floors 1 to 5 aren't much. Floor 6 is a waiting sim. Floor 7 is what I call vertigo floor, also at least net this part like goddamn. Floor 8 is straight up ass, and floors 9 to 10 is just, I don't know what to call this gameplay, just call it tone gameplay. You know I liked the tone gameplay in Tower of Mach 9 more than tone. Want to know why? Because Tower of Mach 9 is fun, and this tower isn't. It's unnecessarily long, while also having boring and punishing gameplay. Want to make a tower that is punishing, while also not being dog shit. Then make the gameplay good. I like TOFCB because it has good gameplay despite the GBJs. I like Toner because it's fun and felt like an adventure. Tone just felt like a creation made by some sort of evil clown who uses it to waterboard their victims with, and also turn them into more evil clowns. That one was a bit of stretch, but you get the idea. So to summarize, garbage gameplay, 2 out of 10. Did I enjoy this tower? No. And would I play this tower again? Hell no. Overall rating for this is 14 out of 50. I really hated this. I just wish there's button progress that shortens the tedious floors, which is all of them, of the gameplay. I don't care, it perfectly balances the button progress anyways. Remember that these are just suggestions, so it's not getting added. Anyways, next tower. Citadel of Quadrilaterals looks inside triangles. This Citadel has misleading design. It has triangles despite being called quadrilaterals. Instant 0 out of 10 for the false advertising. The tower is pretty creative, I guess. 7. The gameplay is so not good, literally the most mid-tier gameplay you've seen that doesn't cover up the loop failing. Why are the last 2 floors so punishing with the most boring gameplay? Flu, you didn't get demoted for making a tower about BDSM and more. You were demoted because you made this awful piece of shit a Citadel. At least there's button progress, so I'll give it meg plus points for that. 7. I really hated this tower. My first run got soft-locked. At least the fail made this more consistent. I did beat it in 3/4 of an hour in the second run. This tower is still asshole. 1 out of 10. And no, not repeating this, not even gonna redo it. 0. Overall, this is a 15 out of 50. I don't have suggestions, just keep it that way. I don't want to touch this thing ever again. Next tower. I like funky towers like EToH and Rhythm Heaven. This one isn't it. Stop blazing this tower, please. TOFG has got to be the most overrated remorseless tower. You guys need to stop pretending this is good. There's literally not much design after the first floor. We got a city-themed tower at first, and then it becomes the same bland-ass floors with modern gameplay. Like, dude, at least add some design to the rest of the tower. Why is it all put into floor 1? 3 out of 10 design. I can't really find anything creative about this tower. My hatred for this overlooked at anything good in this tower. 3. The gameplay isn't even that good. Not going to explain why. 4. I'm rage baiting. I didn't enjoy this tower. The only parts I like is the songs, and at least there's no outside sections. Other than that, I don't have a great experience in this. 3. I don't even want to redo this tower. I'm really glad I get to never do it again. Overall, this is a 30 out of 50. I don't like this tower compared to everyone else. Anyways, next tower. Might be wondering why just how I've beaten the easiest remorseless towers. Is it because they're ass? Yeah. There's nothing much about the design, at least all of it is readable and don't negatively affect the gameplay. 5 out of 10. And I mean the tower is creative and all with the gameplay, so it gets a 6. But the gameplay is not fun. Yay, I got to the win pad. Wait, why can't I win yet? Oh, I have to do this first. I hope it's not that bad. Bruh. The gameplay length of each floor is inconsistent. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just combined with gameplay I don't like, especially the unedited floor 10 outside. How dare you do this to me? I did all of that bullshit just for this piece of shit of tower. Try to end it. I know the gameplay isn't that hard, but I hate it when non-SC towers do this shit, especially this spinner. How dare you do that to me? I didn't fall off from it, but it's still mean. Why would you do that to me? The Frederick Chopin, you fucking asshole. Why would you do that to me? At least make the gameplay good. Don't pull out that outside section bullshit on me if you're not going to bother making the gameplay decent. 0. The scale of my enjoyment in this tower. 0. Replayability scale. Also 0. I am never playing this tower ever again. This gets an 11 out of 50. I'm being really generous here, despite being a fifth of the total score. Again, there's a reason why I'm not even some low-end remorseless towers in this game. They're so ass. TONP is not an exception. The design at least isn't the regular looking frame. I mean floor 4 looks extruded, and floor 10 frame spins, so it's a 4 out of 10. Not great, but it has some design. And I guess this tower is pretty creative with the gameplay. Not really. 5. But the gameplay, it is straight up dog shit. It's hard to explain, but everyone knows this is not how to make gameplay. Regardless if you're real Roma or Schizoid, this tower is not worth your time. It's unbalanced, and the hardest parts of this tower are outside the tower frame, so fail that you most likely have to restart the tower. I get it. It's meant to nonsensical platforms, but at least make it decent. 1 out of 10. And you recognize the pattern. Both enjoyment and replayability scales are 0. Overall a 10 out of 50. No further explanations. There is no way of salvaging this garbage. There's this one guy who told me not to try this Citadel, and yeah, he's right, but I have to do it for the cleanup. The design is pretty good, even the classic tower. I love the contrasting regions of this tower. The winter region being winter, the desert region being a desert, the nature region being a rainforest, the basement floors being like a factory, and the hell region being hell, and heaven being complete unedited heaven. It's pretty good design for an old and classic Citadel, so it gets a 10. Both design and gameplay vary in every region. Not sure about ice in the hell region though, so it gets a 9. The gameplay, however, isn't great. I mean, I get it. It's made before the COVID pandemic happened, so I can't get too mad about the gameplay, except the GBJs in the basement region. This felt unnecessary. It doesn't have to be this punishing. You guys might think I'll include the insta-kill turrets in the desert region, but honestly I'm not too mad about them. It's the soft-locking basement I hate about this Citadel the most, especially the raw gameplay in it. It's not great, but hey, I appreciate the GBJ sections having easier gameplay. My other problem is the regions that isn't the winter or heaven regions having button hunt floors that this Citadel didn't even bother telling you about. So if you've missed even one button, then you have to backtrack to get it. I have nothing else to say. I'll give it a 5. Did I enjoy this tower?
No.
Not at all. And would I want to replay this tower? No. Overall a 24 out of 50. I raged about this tower, and you people who've beaten it also raged about the gameplay, which is fair, but looking back at it, in my opinion this is the worst Citadel in terms of gameplay, but the best Citadel in terms of classic design. Awful tower. This lacks a lot of design. It's like the creator didn't bother changing the colors of the first 7 floors of the tower's frames. The design is all spent on the last 3 floors, and they don't even look that good. 2 out of 10. I mean, I guess there's variety in the gameplay. This tower felt different from other towers, not in a good way though. 5 out of 10. The gameplay is straight up ass. Stop saying this is good, you bum. It's not good tower, it's ass. The only redeeming qualities of this is that it's short, but that gets negated because of floor rate being a soft lock there. So if you have awful nerve control like me, then you're gonna have to do this tower over and over again. 0 out of 10. Didn't enjoy it. And I will not redo this shit. This tower gets a 7 out of 50. The worst tower in this video. Let's just move on to the last tower. Builders making awful sequels of subpar towers need to be studied, because how the hell did Dex make a tower that's worse than its prequel? TheDeathEagle is the only good sequel. The design is cool, I guess. It's just TheDeathEagle with scoliosis, and TheDeathEagle already looks cool, so it doesn't add much to the design. 8 out of 10. This tower is definitely more creative than its prequel. I mean, it has way different gameplay than TheDeathEagle, so it gets a 10. The gameplay is okay, not great, but not awful. 6 out of 10. But what about the part where I say this is awful? It's based on personal experience. I get that there's button progress, and that this tower is meant to be brutal and bizarre torment, but remember, I'm not saying the gameplay is ass. It's just not my cup of tea. The loop failing sucks ass, and there's a reason why there's more TheDeathEagle victors more than TheDeathEagle victors. Nothing else to say. I didn't enjoy this tower at all. 0. No shit, I wouldn't even want to redo this tower again. I nearly fumbled this part. 0 out of 10. TheDeathEagle is a 24 out of 50 overall. For being the easiest and most lazily built tower in this video, I got nothing much to say about this tower, well, except for the kill brick shit show that this tower is. Although to be fair, this was made 7 years ago, so expect the gameplay to not great. The eternal suffering part of the tower comes from the loop fails, and the transition of not being able to see shit in floor 1. falling in the last floor, and I think this tower does keep its name true with its gameplay choices. It's not that hard, it's doable, but I didn't enjoy this tower that much, only papaingus likes it, and I wouldn't even want to redo this tower. Anyways, next tower. Citadel of Peril, everyone's favorite volcano citadel. I got nothing much to say about this tower aside from floor rate feeding a waving synth and light synth making sure you suffer a lot in this tower, which includes mid-tier gameplay above an insta-kill. Probably one of the reasons you got demoted in the first place, but let's not slander the creators of this tower, as the focal point here is the citadel itself. Citadel of Peril is basically a speedrun citadel, where you escape from rising lava, except instead of a usual escape the evil zombie, you have to do challenging difficulty gameplay with rising lava beneath you. The gameplay is quite varying. We got Duke's classic style, then hard to pronounce names EToH style, then light synth saying fuck you and ruining your run. I appreciate the gameplay variety and the different styles of each creator. I think collab towers are created well, except this one. This felt like a 2-day side project, and the design is a citadel in a volcano, and there's speakers in this citadel. Wow, I could have enjoyed this tower more if it wasn't for light synth. Although without light synth this citadel could have been like mid to high Remorseless if he didn't join the collab. Yeah, I would repeat this tower again, nothing else to say. Also shout out to this guy who spectated me. When a tornado randomly sits in space. In a serious note, at least add some design. Like, I'm fine with the grayscale frame, but at least add a little more color in the gameplay. Maybe like a blue solar panel or a red antenna. Just put some design variety, my guy. I get that gameplay is the most important aspect in towers, but at least add a little priority to the design. Speaking of gameplay, it's alright I guess. There wasn't anything special, but each floor has one notable thing that other floors don't have. Not going into detail with this one, I didn't particularly enjoy this, nor want to redo this again, but this is far from the other worst towers in this video. Also be happy for this guy, he beat mechanically induced mayhem after I beat this tower. Got nothing else to say. Next tower. Why did we replace an actual good-looking citadel that fits the most in this area with this garbage? I don't care if it was due to lag reasons, I care more about why did they pick this. This tower is that one kid you do not want to sit next to at school, yet your teacher finds a way to make them sit with you like they planned every other student to sit with everyone else besides you and said kid. But let's not judge a book by its cover, except for this one you can judge that. Lethargy is just classic gameplay, which I don't mind that much, except this is mid-tier classic gameplay with punishing gameplay. I'll let this one slide just a little bit, since most of these have button progress, but I still don't enjoy this tower. There's nothing much design in this Citadel aside from it being L-shaped. I don't want to even redo this one, it's that one tower that you're glad to never do again. Anyways, done talking about this. This tower could have been okay if it wasn't for floor 3. That floor single-handed made this cross the insane line. The gameplay sucks, and there's not much design, but the innovation of this tower isn't hideous. It's actually quite creative for an old and hated tower. But I still get to complain about it anyways. This tower is one of those that fall off to be all creativity, no enjoyment in EToH towers. It's just not fun to play with. At least the final stretch gives more than second chances, so I guess we're chill now. The tower is still ass though. Not recommended until it gets revamped. I beg you to revamp TheDeathEagle yourself, Vincent. And oddly enough, I might redo this tower. Not repeat, just replay some of the tower. Cannot describe how much I despise this garbage. If you like this tower, then I'm sorry, but you 100% hate yourself. Why would anyone enjoy some loot fail hell with mid-tier gameplay like this? Can we stop making towers that put 0 button progress while putting roundabout gameplay in every single crevice inside the tower? Because if you're gonna do that, then at least make the gameplay good. This also falls into the category TheDeathEagle is in. While I find certain parts creative, like the turret to the end, it's more of a please God make this work, don't make me fall off again prayer, instead of making some players like me enjoy this. The only person I knew who enjoys this is papaingus, and papaingus liking your tower is already an insult within itself. I've had 0 enjoyment with pastel pillars, nor I want to ever redo this shit again, but the design looks okay I guess. Anyways, on to the last 3 towers. Is it weird that I like this more than ton? I'm not saying that TOCN is good or anything, the gameplay is still shit, but for some reason I still kinda enjoyed this tower. I definitely would like this more if there were no outside sections, but I still unironically enjoyed this tower. Sure, the gameplay is spammy and the design isn't much, but this tower at least has a little variety, although not that much. I have weird tastes in towers. I like this. I like spherical jank gameplay for some reason, I don't really know why. I'd probably do TOCN and try to get to floor rate or something like that. Anyways, it's time for the worst Citadel I have ever experienced.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
This tower, the 6 months of making this tower minus the breaks is worth it. The design is so beautiful, the gameplay, despite its extreme punishment, is so creative and fun, that I would probably do this Citadel, and maybe I'd repeat this in EToH. This isn't anything ironic, because this Citadel is 100 times easier and 1,000 times more bearable and fun than cows. What? You expect anything else for me to say? Well, I was kinda thinking of making this video more cinematic, especially for this segment, which is literally about my final tower before the release of Purgatorio, but I got too lazy to do those. At least you got my last Remorseless cleanup before Purgatorio.